Welcome to Art Loves Fashion. I'm your host, Sharonda.Irving. I'm an image consultant, professional developer, art curator and collector, a wife and a mom. This show, Art Loves Fashion, is about, you guessed it, art, love, and fashion. We'll be meeting new people, trying interesting things, and hopefully learning something new. Sounds kind of vague, right? That's because I want you to join me on Sundays at 5 o'clock as we take a journey of all things creative and beautiful with art, loves, fashion. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Art Loves Fashion. I'm your host, Sharonda.Irving. And my guest today is Tatiana.Inise.
Hi, guys.
She's joining me for our fashion segment, but you know, I like to talk, she likes to talk, so I just asked her to sit in studio with us for the entire show. So get comfortable, and we're going to, let me give you a brief intro, because if this is your first time, I want to make sure that you know what you tuned into. So again, I'm Sharonda.Irving. I am a wife, a mom, an image consultant, an educator, and you'll see a little bit later on, I am also a former beauty, well, still currently a beauty expert. So I am a makeup artist as well as a nail technician. So, and an educator. Did I mention that? And I'm also an educator. So I'm doing a lot of things.
Wearing lots of hats, lots of hats.
Yes. So the show today, we've got a few things that we're going to be talking about. Our three segments are art, love, and fashion. And sometimes I switch the order around depending on what I feel like is most important or what's most relevant. So today's the first segment we're going to start talking about is love.
Ooh.
And so I try to think about what are the most current topics, what is some feel-good news, what is something people love, what is something you love. And so the first topic we're going to talk about, and my boy Afiba is going to give me my little transition for segment one. It's titled, Where is the Love? Give me some feedback on what y'all think about that musical transition. Because last time we talked about transitions. So that's going to be a musical transition. Thank you. So, all right. So today's topic is about DWade.
Okay, me and my mother was talking about that.
Yeah. So the reason why I chose to talk about him in this love section is because one of the things that I wanted to really, really hone in on is what he did to me was just about an act of love.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like regardless of where you stand in terms of gender identification, sexual orientation, we cannot ignore the fact that this is his child.
Yeah. And
all he's saying is, this is what I need to do to support and love my child.
But also protect my child.
And protect my child. So when it came up, he apparently, I think, aired it first on the Ellen Show, I think.
Okay.
And then he went on a couple of different news outlets to talk about it. And he definitely had gotten his daughter's permission first.
Yes.
Which, again, loving dad, right?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't just pop out and spread her business throughout the nation like another famous father that we know did.
Yes.
Do we know who we're talking about?
Are we talking about the same person?
I don't know. We're talking about a certain rapper who talked about going with his daughter too.
Yeah, yep.
I don't think he asked her permission to be able to divulge that information.
No, he didn't.
And she wound up having to shut down her social medias behind that.
Yes, she did.
So he thought about her. He respected her feelings. He respected her right to privacy, even though she's a kid. He thought about the fact that she has privacy and feelings.
I also think it's a very sensitive topic.
Absolutely.
And I think when we look at like the media, especially with kids with bullying, I think he did the right thing. But I think it's love, but it's also like protecting,
which is part of love.
Which
right?
is a part of love, yeah. And that's his child.
Yeah. So the thing that stuck out to me is that he said one of the things that he said, and I'm looking at one of the news outlets who reported on it. He said, "This is her life every day. This is no game to us. We're all about protecting her heart. We're about protecting her joy. And to do that, we have to support her." So I just felt like, for whomever had come out and had negative things to say, and whoever kind of made it about the specific issue of gender identity and about sexual identity, like, missed the whole entire point to me.
Yeah.
Like, when you have a kid, that like your first job is to love, protect, and nurture them.
Okay.
So, and that's through whatever, and that's unconditional.
Right.
And I'm like, I applaud DWade 1,000%, because even as a parent, you'll know, like, or all those parents out there can kind of attest to this, that it doesn't come with
conditions,
an owner's manual.
Oh,
doesn't come with conditions.
I'm not a mom yet, so I don't know,
but you have family though,
I
right?
do have
And
family.
even if you're just like a family member, right?
Right?
It doesn't come with an owner's manual. It doesn't come with conditions, and you don't know what life is going to hand you and going to hand your child. You don't get to say. I'm going to take this part and I'm going to take that part. Right. The love is the whole thing. Yeah. Right? So I wanted to just kind of highlight DWade and his daughter on that. And what I do want to, this is one of the things that this conversation around gender identity, one of the things that it caused me to do was research. And I think I would just encourage people to
do your research before you start commenting and being on people's social media and having a voice around a topic that you're not really educated on. And I can't really speak to it just because I feel I'm a little bit ignorant because I don't have all the knowledge. But I think also as an educator and watching children, develop, and sometimes you look at a child and you're like, oh, okay. But I think that the fact that she's able to speak and say, this is what I identify as, and her family is being accepting, to me, that's beautiful. Because you have some children and even adults who family are not accepting of who they choose to be. So I think love is support, love is about protection. And I honestly think we need to give him a little more credit, because as a black father in America, I think he's doing the right thing. I think we always there's a narrative around black men, especially as fathers, and I think what he's doing is honorable, but I think he's being a father. I think that's what it is. Like, I'm protecting my child, I'm protecting my family. Absolutely. He's not just allowing, people just to kind of come in, because it's not a game. Like, this is a child. Yeah. So what's going to happen, what happens if he did not do that? If he didn't protect his child in that way. Yeah. And so I'm glad you said that, because I in my research I pulled up because I wanted to just kind of get the facts, right? What are the facts? And one of the things was around one of the websites that I looked at was the Human Rights Campaign. Okay. Because really I just Googled facts about transgender youth. Okay. And they had a little infographic that came up that I thought was super, super interesting, because it talked about, and we're going to pull it up in a minute, but I want to pull up some of the information. One of the things that really stood out to me was the information about the suicide rates. Yes, that's really high. And it talked about, let me see if I can pull it up, because I want to make sure that it says that studies show that familial rejection can lead LGBTQ, and I think it's now IA, to engage in behaviors that put their health at risk. It triggers depression and other mental health problems, and in worst cases result in homelessness and suicide. And that's when they are rejected by their families. And so one of the things, and the infographic is up on the screen now, it talks about the percentages of children who say that they feel like their family is supportive, the percentage of children, or the percent by which suicide rates increases or decreases depending on the level of supportiveness within your family, and all those different facts and statistics. Okay. And so I just kind of thought that wherever you stand
on the issue, right? Like, and I kind of am starting to feel like there's only one stance that you can take, and that's just to support people in whoever they are, whoever they
it's
identify.
It's not really about
as.
you. It's not about you.
It's not.
I think when you take that stance of making it about you, it's almost, it's like selfish, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, unfortunately, like, he's a celebrity, so his life is out there. You get to go on, you know, Instagram. I think whatever he chooses to put out there is what we believe, but we don't know what goes on behind, you know, within the, you know, their household. So he has to do his best to protect his child, because she's exposed to the world. You know, it's not like, you know, the everyday who just, you know, goes to work, come home. Like, your life is easily accessible to the world. So I think that when you think about that extra layer, there's more microscopes and people just analyzing and looking and thinking they should have an opinion about your life, which is really difficult. So I think where's the love? It was about love is about protection. And I think he did the right thing. I don't think any of us should have an opinion about what he should do, because that's his child.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
100% agreed. So shout out to DWade, but shout out to all parents who are trying to navigate and support their children through whatever struggles that they may be having. But in this particular instance, parents who may be trying to support their parents through their identification of who they are and who they want to be. And from, you know, researching and all that kind of stuff, it's not a straightforward process. It's not, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It just so happened that we just heard about it in one day. But, you know, a parent, you know, as you read, you'll see like it's a process, and that kids aren't always clear on where they stand and who they are and who they want to be. So I just encourage people to continue to be supportive. I encourage people to continue to research, and I just want to encourage people to like be a little bit more loving and forgiving of people in general. And one of the things, you know what, and I'm going to close out with this, I want to give a shout out to my daughter, because I learn a lot by talking to people who are younger, because I find that, you know, the world is changing, and I feel like younger people have a better handle and a better understanding about what's going on and how to accept people, because this is more of a more public reality than it has ever been. And so sometimes I have to go and talk to her, like, so tell me what you think about this and help me to understand that. And, you know, I think, you know, we have to have that kind of thought process, like, help me to understand. And if it's nobody who can give you a perspective, Google can get you straight.
Sometimes Google gets it straight, not all the time.
It can point you in a direction, but don't stop at one.
No, definitely not. Do your research, but, you know, I think what I don't like is when people don't have enough knowledge and they just go on and they just start commenting and speaking about something. Like I said, I don't have all the knowledge, so I don't want to speak on something, but I think as a father, he did the right thing to protect his child.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what love is. Love is about protecting. It's unconditional. It doesn't love with condition. So I think he's showing us, you know, what love is.
And that picture that I pulled up, I wanted to show that one because it was Gabrielle Union with her boxing gloves around her neck.
Hello.
Like, I got their back. He got our back. We got her back. So I was like, how cute is that? That's a really, I love that picture. I love that picture.
Really cute.
So, you know, shout out to them. And that's my segment on love, because I wanted to just really highlight there's lots of different love, and we love that example of love. So thank you for sharing your thoughts on that, Tatiana.
I just talked about it with my mother. That was it.
What did she say?
I mean, you know, my mother has always been the mom who was like, you're my child, so I'm going to love you regardless. And she, you know, whatever you choose to do, you know, like, she just 100% supports. I mean, and I love that about her. Like all of her children, you know, whatever it is that we chose to do in life, she was just right there, like, okay. And if she didn't agree, she would tell, like, listen, this is not, but this is your life, you know, but I'm going to be here and I'm going to support you. Like, if you want to dance, dance. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to teach, whatever it is that you want to do, do it, you know, and love who you want to love. And she's really big on that. Like, love who you want to love. Doesn't, you know, regardless race, gender, like, she's just like, hey, it's your decision. Yeah, because that should kind of fall into it, right? Like, if you want to dance, dance. If you want to sing, sing. If you have some difference of identification that I did not expect, then
I'm going to support you on that too. You don't get to like
I think
just
she
cross
has
that
to,
part out.
Hey, mommy, love you. I think she has her idea, and I think raising daughters, like she had her idea of what she wanted for us. But when I look at the range of my sisters and I, like we're all very different. But I think it's because my mother was very accepting of who we are as individuals, and she was able to love each and every one of us and give each one of us what we needed. So
shout out to Tatiana's mama.
Hi, mommy.
Hey.
Yes.
All right, so that's it for the Where's the Love segment. It was shorter this week. Last time we talked about
because it was Valentine's.
Yes, and Tatiana, you made the
I did make
spaghetti.
that pasta.
The pasta.
It was good. It was
good. Yeah, I got a lot of texts. I got a lot of inboxes. People sent me their pictures of their finished product.
I actually feel upset because I just discovered it. I'm like, wait, are you saying that I could have made a fancy pasta dish just with like literally 3 ingredients? That's it.
Yes.
I'm really upset because I'm out here like, yo, that's like a college meal. Like, when you're in college, just like, let me
when you just pull something out and it came out sophisticated. That's why you got to stay tuned to Art Loves Fashion. You're going to be picking up on some great tips because we got some other great tips coming this afternoon too. So
yes, we do.
On to our next segment. Hey, we got yes.
So can I get a window seat? Don't nobody next to me.
My next segment is about art.
Okay.
So,
art.
About a week ago, my husband took me out on a little quick surprise date. And we went right down to the Smithsonian to the African Art Museum.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just went to the portrait gallery.
The portrait gallery is so dope.
I did.
Yes.
I just went. I dragged my friend Crystal with me. I was like, I'm about to go. Because I actually didn't see the Michelle Obama or the Barack Obama portrait.
Yeah, I just saw that too not too long ago.
Yeah, so if you are in the area or you're not, please make sure you come and check it out because it's going on a tour very soon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, in June they're going to be doing like a tour.
Oh, yeah. So all my DC area people, if you haven't seen the portrait live, come on. Let's go ahead and see that.
Yeah.
Kehinde Wiley is definitely one of my faves.
Yeah.
And I just got introduced to the artist that did the Michelle Obama one through that portrait.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
But I was really excited when I heard that Kehinde was doing Barack. But at any rate, and portrait gallery is nice because it's got that little atrium on the inside. You can have lunch.
Beautiful.
You can make a whole day out of it.
Like I'm going to go back. I literally went just for that piece. But
was it a line?
No, I think I went on Friday.
Okay.
I just went on Friday, middle of the day. I think weekends is going to, definitely more people. But it is a cute, if you want a date with yourself. I was going to date myself, and I dragged my friend with me.
Yes.
And it was really nice. Like the Obama had like somewhat of a line, but it wasn't that much of a line. I went to go see the 44th president. I didn't care about anybody else. I'm just keeping it real.
I was not expecting for there to actually be a line. Sorry, guys, I need to scoot up. I wasn't expecting for there to be a line to see the portrait, but yes, if you come, expect to see either a little mini line.
A little mini line. It wasn't too bad, but it stands out. I think, it brings color into the room.
Yeah, it's a beautiful portrait.
Yeah.
And so, but at any rate, we went to the African Art Museum.
Okay.
And they have a couple of different, like all the museums, you have a couple of things that are sort of the constant exhibits that are there all the time. But with this, in this one, they have a couple of exhibits that are only there for a limited time.
Okay.
So we had gone to see
I need to
the
check it
Principles of African Greatness.
Okay.
First.
I need to add that to my list of things.
Yes. Yeah. Add it, guys. Add it. And one of the things about that particular exhibit is that it's interactive.
Okay.
So, or I don't know if interactive is the right word, but we saw the exhibit in the museum. But if you go to the actual website, there is an online portion of it. So there's some videos. There's some like lots of like contemporary information and just a whole online component to the actual exhibit.
All right.
And they had a fantastic sculpture of Toussaint Louverture.
So do we know how long it's gonna be at the museum?
I don't. I have the site up here right now.
And this
but I can pull it up.
Free or is it?
It's all free. All of the Smithsonian exhibits are free.
See, free things to do, guys.
Yeah. So like, here's the thing: we pay taxes.
Right.
Come to the museum because that's where your tax money is
tax
going.
money is going.
Yeah, like come on, we're paying. It's free to get in, but you've already paid.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have to appreciate. You have to appreciate art, and I think when I went to the portrait gallery, it just took me back to my childhood of weekends going, like especially living in New York, like going to the museum, and my mother would take us to all the museums, and it felt like, oh, we were doing something. We were doing something.
Yeah,
just like,
it's important.
Yeah, just
it's
exposing
important.
us. So I enjoy going to the museum as an adult.
Yeah, and sometimes when you live in a city, you kind of take for granted the touristy stuff or the the exhibits and things that you have. But Smithsonian really is like an amazing resource. I feel like honestly, I probably could do multiple segments just on the various Smithsonian institutions because it really, really is like it's amazing.
Yeah.
But we forget about it, and then when you don't have anything to do or you're looking for something creative to do or, you got friends coming in town, the Smithsonian is always a good idea.
Yeah,
it's always a good idea. So we went to go see that and we saw the Toussaint sculpture. If you have not seen it, it is an amazing sculpture. It's huge. It's in the middle of the room. I tried to pull up a picture of it, but
I'm gonna definitely add that.
I didn't get it up in time. But I would say not only go see it, but if you don't know who Toussaint Louverture is, and I'm probably saying it incorrectly, I took Spanish. I did not take French, so my French pronunciation. Okay, thank you. That's good. That's good. I try to, sound a little right, but French is a whole different kind of accent to me, so I don't always have it right.
You got the Spanish accent.
I can do the Spanish accent, but Toussaint, our homie from Haiti, who overthrew and gained independence for Haiti.
Like he's like, yeah.
We have to know about him. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Wakanda, Black Power, which is a real thing. Wakanda is fictionalized, but we love it. Black Power, which is a real thing.
Okay.
But we have to understand who our heroes are because it is still Black History Month.
It is.
We have to understand who our heroes are. And we have, and when we understand that historical content, now we know why the United States hates Haiti. It was one of the first African nations to gain their independence from Europe. Yeah. So of course they're never going to get any help from the westernized nations. How dare you? How dare you gain your independence? Right. But anyway, go see the homie Toussaint at the African Art Museum.
I'm adding it to my list, guys.
But what I wanted to also highlight, that sculpture was amazing, but I also wanted to highlight this absolutely gorgeous painting by this Ethiopian woman, and I just lost the page. I had all her notes up on my screen, but we're gonna pull her up because she's an Ethiopian artist. Hold on, let me go back to my home screen. Yes. Oh yes, it was the contemporary African art, women's contemporary African art.
Okay.
And let me tell you the exact name of it. Current exhibitions. If you're looking online, guys, it's the current exhibitions, and it's
Is that it?
I am, and then it's I am ... contemporary women artists of Africa.
That is a beautiful. It's a painting.
So it's a couple. There's a whole bunch of different.
Different pieces.
Okay,
got it.
But one of the ones that I thought was so gorgeous. There were so many, right? But there was one, and we're going to show it up on the screen, that I thought was so good. It stopped me in my tracks.
Oh my goodness, that reminds me of Janelle Monáe. Isn't that kind of?
Isn't she? Yes,
she's giving me like a Janelle Monáe vibe.
Yes.
Okay.
It's beautiful, right? So this particular artist, and I wanted to show her on screen because I just wanted to let you guys, I feel like art there's so many different forms of art, but this visual medium, I wanted to make sure that you guys got an opportunity to see it. The artist's name is Aida. I can't.
Aida
Moulinet.
Moulinet.
I don't want to.
We about to Moulinet. Did I say it right? We don't know.
She's an Ethiopian artist. She works in Addis Ababa.
Okay.
And the name of the painting is called Sai-Mado.
The distant
gaze. The distant gaze. I should have just said
the distant gaze.
The distant gaze. It's not even, you know what? I thought it was a painting. It's actually a digital photograph.
Okay.
But one of the things she talked about was that it talked about as women, especially as African women, we forget, and the world forgets, our positioning in history and religion and culture. And I was like, okay, then you go ahead and remind us about.
We were the forefront and behind the movements.
Yes. Okay.
I was like, look at women's history, like we were the ones who were leading it,
and we get erased.
Yeah, we do.
First of all, sis got on this red bad suit. Okay.
Which I think also speaks volumes about that she has like this red suit on. It's just like, it's bold. It's just like, it's there. But then I also like the backdrop because it has like the sky and then like the checkered floor.
Yes. Yeah. Like the suit it's a red and a pantsuit, honey, and a tie.
And a tie, right? Which kind of like speaks to this idea of like a mixture of like feminine but masculine at the same time. Yeah.
And being powerful, right? And her pose and her posture in the chair. It's like very bold and powerful.
She's kind of sitting like back like this.
Yes, a power position a little bit. Powerful. Yeah, and then she says the cloud sky symbolizes the uncertainty of relationships, while the image behind the broken glass looks to a past made present through memories. Okay. Ooh, so deep. Like, so I wanted to pull that one up just because I thought it was super dope. I thought that it was, us being able to recognize and become familiar with art throughout the diaspora. Not only, of course, my first concern is going to be people of color, Black people, Africans throughout the diaspora. But, just to kind of broaden our vision of art, broaden our vision of artists. And it's right here in our backyard, and it's Black History Month, but pretty soon, isn't March Women's History Month?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so, go visit the African Museum, African Art Museum, and like serve dual purpose. Take a look at some of our African history and then segue and go look and see what's going on with our contemporary women artists from Africa. There's a couple of other ones that are really good. So I would encourage you, and if you're not in the DC area, if you Google africa.si.edu, africa.si.edu, you'll be able to see a lot of this stuff online. And just so like SI stands for Smithsonian Institution. So if you forget what the website was, because I didn't pull it up on the screen, SI is Smithsonian Institution. I'm sure if you just Google it, it'll take you to it. Okay. But that's the Smithsonian National Museum of African Art.
Okay, I'm definitely adding that to my list.
Yeah. So we're going to segue to our last segment. Ooh. And I'm so happy that you were able to come today, Tatiana.
Me too. This is fun.
Isn't it? It was fun having you here. It's fun because last time I was talking to Afiba, like, hey, and people probably were looking like, who's she talking to? I was like, hey, you're gonna have to talk back to me and interact with me because the people will think I'm crazy. So on to our last segment.
Hey.
Is it okay if I call you my product, babe? I ain't no player, I just got a lot of babe. But let me tell you, I like you a lot, babe. I wanna start at the top and the bottom, babe. Then you want to shoot with the red at the bottom, babe.
So our last segment, fashion. Yay!
Things that we both love.
So, although you've been sitting here talking to us the whole time, Miss Tatiana,
yes,
we did not properly introduce you to the audience. So, really quickly, tell the people a really quick bit about yourself. I kind of had an intro, but I'll let you introduce yourself because you already warmed up.
Yes. Okay, so my name is Tatiana.Inise on social media. Also, my website is www.Tatiana.Inise.com. During the day, you can find me in the classroom. I am an educator. I teach second graders. And then I consider myself a lifestyle blogger, content creator. I believe that life's a journey, so show up, be bold, and stand out. And I want to encourage women to journey through life in style. So that is who I am.
Okay. So, Miss Tatiana, I know you said you were a blogger, right?
Lifestyle blogger.
Okay.
Lifestyle blogger.
And one of the things that she was doing, and one of the segments that I wanted to talk about, which we're going to talk a little bit about today, is about sustainable fashion.
Yes.
So one of the biggest discussions about fashion right now is the fact that the fashion industry is one of the biggest culprits in like waste on the planet. And now with some of the fast fashion outlets, it's becoming more and more of a problem. I actually can pull up some of the statistics, but it's becoming a major problem that the fashion industry really is going to have to figure out and address. And so with that, along with that, one of the solutions is whether it's because you are conscientious about fast fashion or you conscientious about your pocketbook. One of the things is like thrifting.
Thrifting and consignment, yes.
Thrifting and consignment. And so I asked Tatiana to come on because she used to have a partnership with Goodwill. Tell me a little quick bit about that. How did that happen?
So I've always enjoyed, like, I love shopping. Okay, like I love shopping. But you know, when I was in college, that's when I got introduced to like thrifting and consignment. I mean, you're a college student, so I didn't really have that much money. So I found myself like going to the Goodwill and going to like the Value Villages and different thrift stores and just finding different pieces. And when I first started my first job as a teacher, I did not have, that much money. So I found myself going there and getting pieces to help build up my professional wardrobe.
Yes.
But as far as my partnership with Goodwill,
because you was not spending your paycheck on work clothes.
No, I was not. I was trying to make it out here in these streets.
Like,
right?
I want to go and do some other things with my money. But in DC, big chunk of it is paying rent.
Listen, hello. I started off in, I went to school in Atlanta. So I went to Spelman. So, I really did enjoy, thrifting there. But moving to DC, I found going to the Goodwill here in DC. And they just kind of reached out and I was able to curate a rack of items, which was beautiful because I think sometimes when people walk into, a Goodwill or just thrift stores, you're very overwhelmed. So it was nice to kind of go in and actually curate a rack. And with my rack, I actually put pieces together, put an outfit together for you.
Yes.
But it was fun watching, women come in and they shopping my pieces.
Nice.
And so that was a lot of fun. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. But I think,
and do you have some of those still up on your IG? Because I remember you posting a few things.
Yeah, I do.
So go to Tatiana.
My Instagram is Tatiana, Tatiana, _INISE. On Instagram.
So you can see some of the pieces that you curated from Goodwill.
So actually when we went thrifting, I got this skirt, guys.
Yeah, we'll have to stand up and show you our pieces.
Pieces, but yeah.
Yeah, so we went yesterday, and I tried to upload the video, but you guys are just going to have to go to my page.
And go and watch our stories.
Watch our Insta stories because, I am tech savvy, but Afiba and I are still working together and getting our rhythm flowing. So I didn't get the video up in time to show you guys, but one of the things so I'm going to upload our videos to my Insta story, and I'll definitely tag you. But I wanted to share with you guys a couple tips. Yeah. So Tatiana talked a little bit about how she got into thrifting. Yeah. And for me, growing up, we did not have a lot of money, and my mom doesn't really like to shop, but for some reason she can spend a lot of time in a thrift store. Yeah. Don't ask me why. I think it's the uniqueness. I think it's the character of things that you can find. And you can always find something.
People give away a lot. And I think so, it's kind of what's one man's trash, another man's treasure. That's kind of how I feel when I walk into a thrift store. It's or even just finding vintage pieces, designer pieces, because depending on the area which you thrift, you might find some really good pieces. I went to a Goodwill and I actually found brand new pair of Coach flats.
Nice.
I don't know who boyfriend was mad or somebody was mad because it was in the box, tags and everything.
Okay. Well, maybe, sometimes you buy things, you're like, why did I buy this? I'm not wearing it. It's been in my closet. Yeah. Or whatever. But so with me, thrifting has always been just kind of something that we did growing up. So even though I do a lot of retail, I also still do thrift shopping. And there's quite a few, I will say, there's quite a few smaller thrift stores in DC that are Black owned, that are Black women owned. I'm going to definitely consignment and thrifts.
Okay.
So I'm going to also post some of them on my page because I get to go there and I find some really, really cute stuff.
Yeah, we have our favorite one that we like to go to.
Yeah, so shout out to Fia's Fabulous Finds. Yes. Shout out to Curated by Key.
Yep.
Mylana's Closet. I think that's also one. So there's quite a few. Those are just 3 that popped up off the top of my head.
Right.
Fia's, they kind of seem to specialize in more contemporary things.
Yeah,
they
contemporary.
They do
it's definitely consignment. And there is a difference, people. I think that you have to understand, like, thrifting and consignment is two different things.
Yes.
So like a Goodwill, that's more thrifting, right?
Yes.
A consignment, it might look more like boutique style.
Yes.
Normally when you go into like a thrift store, most of the items are like, if somebody just bought it, they donate and then they price the items. Depending on which thrift store you may go to, there might be like, oh, this is the color for today, 50% off. They might, certain items might be priced, between this range, or they might say, okay, all blouses are $2.99, all blazers are $5.99. Whereas in consignment, depending on the quality of the piece, they will say, okay,
they set the price.
They set the price, and that is the price for the item. And then so for example, let's say if I took this blouse to a consignment shop, they'll say, okay, well, we're gonna put it up, and this is the price. If I sell it, you'll get a portion, a percentage of it once it sells. Versus like thrift stores, most of the time you just give it away, and that's the end of it. So.
Yeah. So so we went to Goodwill.
Yep, Goodwill.
And one of the things that we talked about, and you'll see it in the story, and I wanted to share these through the form of tips.
Yep.
Because I feel like there's no, we ought to incorporate thrifting in our shopping excursions again, because if you care about the environment, you care about your pocketbook, or you care about getting unique pieces, check out the thrift store.
Yeah.
But tip number 1, come dressed for the occasion.
Yes.
Right? So
come dressed comfortable, people.
Come dressed comfortable. But one of the things that I always tell people, I tell my clients, and I want to tell you guys, is that especially if you don't like
using the
dressing room.
Yeah.
And in a thrift store, I kind of don't do the dressing room. So I'll wear leggings and I'll wear a tank top underneath, and I might wear like a zip up. Right? So like a hoodie with a zipper or a jacket or something, so I don't have to pull my shirt over my head. So then that way, if I see something, I can just take off my top, try it on, see how it fits, throw it in a bag, or throw it back on the rack and keep going. So tip 1, come dressed with some type of close-fitting layers to see, and then maybe some slip-off footwear.
Yeah, so something easy. And I think also too, like, and this is just a shopping tip in general, like, you don't want to wear makeup or anything like that, because when you are trying on garments, you don't want to get your makeup on the actual, clothing.
On the garment,
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But definitely be comfortable. And I think one tip that, Sharonda just reminded me, because I just had on, kind of had a little sweatshirt, and I actually forgot to put like a tank top, and I had to go to the dressing room. So wearing a tank top is definitely helpful.
Yeah, I'm standing outside the dressing room like TikTok.
Yeah, come on. I'm like, I gotta go try my stuff on.
I would also say either wear a crossbody bag or some type of fanny pack.
I had a fanny pack, yeah.
Just because obviously
you don't want to be holding your bag like this, and it's just
doing
too much.
All the things.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Goodwill has shopping carts.
They do,
but not every store has that. So you want to be hands free, because you're gonna have to kind of go through the racks. You want, or if you see a few things, you have it over your arm, and you're looking with a rack. You don't want to be fumbling and fooling around with a purse. So come with that. And these are good shopping tips for wherever you're going.
Yeah, wherever you go. But definitely for thrifting, you want to make sure that you are comfortable and you have undergarments under to allow you to quickly change in that.
Yeah, not undergarments as in underwear.
Underwear, but like a tank
layers.
Top. Layers, people. Layers.
He was over there like, okay, cool. So guys, wear an undershirt.
Yep.
Ladies, wear a tank top. I would say tight fitting though, because you want to be able to get a good idea of how the garment's going to lay.
Yeah.
Yep. So another one I would say is, and this is a big one, make sure that you inspect the garment before you buy it.
Yes, that is something that I'm still getting like good at, because when we were thrifting yesterday, there was this camel was it the camel skirt?
Yes.
And it was so pretty. And like for me, I have this thing, and this is like one of my tips when you're thrifting. I have this wow factor, and this is just when I'm shopping. If something wows me, I'm like, that's it. If I don't feel like wow, I'm not gonna get it, and it caught my attention. But then once we expected the garment, we actually realized that it was snagging.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure, even you want to look, especially with blouses, look underneath the arms. You want with skirts, you want to make sure that there's no like snags. Sweaters, you want to make sure there's no holes.
Snags,
hold up, like especially sweaters, you want to hold it up to the light, make sure it's not like dingy. So
one of the other things you want to look for is pilling, like sweaters that tend to get pills. Now this is what I will say, because depending on your circumstances and what you need to do, you might find something really nice and it may have a few pills. Now if you feel like the quality of the garment versus the cost is good, and you can get a sweater shaver to take those little pills off.
I have one. Or you can just use a razor.
Okay, razor. Yeah. Just don't get one that's like, it's not going to be worth the cost. Yeah, absolutely. And you want to look for stains, you want to look for snags, you want to look for holes, you want to look for imperfections that you cannot fix yourself. Yeah. And be honest with yourself. If you know daggone well you're not going to sew that hem back in those pants, don't buy it. Yes, I know it's $3.99, but if you're not going to sew it, it's still a waste of money.
And I think that's a tip that I have is like when you go into a thrift store, kind of know what you want. And I think yesterday for me, I knew I wanted to find a slip dress. Like that was my thing. I was like, what do I want? I want a slip dress. So that was all that my eyes was like focused on, but I was still open to maybe finding another piece. So I think you want to make sure you know what you are looking for, but also just be open. And yeah.
Cool. So that was our segment. We wanted to talk about thrift. Oh, and before we go, so we needed to show you guys what our, thrift purchase.
I'm a little hating about this jacket right here because
yes, I have to be extra because I was finding things, but I was like, I realized that a lot of the stuff was like, it was just okay. Or then after I inspected it, it wasn't really, I didn't like it. I wasn't thrilled. And I did not want to walk out with something that I didn't really love or wasn't going to use. But I found this cute I love a moto jacket.
She said I can have it after
I get a couple wears. She can thrift it off of me.
Yeah, okay.
So, my little
it's really cute. But one thing we did do once we were done, I just like the detail on it.
Little puffy sleeve.
Yeah, it's really cute. It looks cute on her, but I know.
And I think this was like $5.99.
Yeah, it was $5.
Let me repeat that. $5.99. Yes. So that was my thrift store find. And guess what? And the funny thing is that this was Fashion Nova, which no shade, but that's another fast fashion outlet. So I'm glad that someone thrifted it so that it doesn't go in somebody's landfill.
Yeah, and one thing I tend to do when I'm done thrifting is like once I have the items that I think I want, I kind of go yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. The yes is like, this is definitely it. The no is like, okay. And then the maybe, I'm like, do I really want this? Do I have something like this in my closet already? And then just make a decision. And I kind of want to show the skirt. Remember,
you stand up. She's so tiny. Okay, wait a minute. Can we see?
Can we see? I know, I'm so tiny. So this
you need a little soapbox.
This is so actually, I think did I find this or did you find it?
I found it. I was in my pile.
Oh, yeah, it was in her pile. And then she was like, yes, I'm going to get this skirt. And then we get to the cashier, and she's like, I don't want it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it. And I actually like it because it's kind of like metallic. But then
it feels suede-ish.
But it feels like suede-ish, Yeah. I think I like statement pieces.
Maybe we'll trade.
Okay, we can do that.
Maybe I'll get the skirt back and you get the jacket back.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Compromise. That's love.
See, 2 for 1.
That's love.
Yeah, there you go. So, final segment. In this part, we're going to have to fly through. When I get on here, and I'm always, misinterpreting the show clock, and I'm like at the last minute like, oh my God, I only have a few more minutes to tell you about this. But in keeping with the whole sustainable fashion and the sustainable fashion and thrifting, Tatiana and I had a conversation about manicures. And so on her blog too, she talks about
Self-care
DIY and self-care and thrifting and all that. So this kind of goes along with her brand, but also what I do also as a professional. So she called me, she was like, Sharonda, I'm doing a manicure and I'm trying to do this DIY manicure. I need some help. So I said, you know what, come on the show and we'll talk about how we DIY a manicure. Yeah. Now, if you are watching, I am a professional, but I'm giving you permission to try this at home.
It's okay, kids. And you can try this at home.
Yes, and all of these things, like I did with the recipe last time, all of this is stuff that's in the drugstore. None of this that we're going to use and show is professional grade products. Yeah. Although when you go to pay a professional, you should see them using professional grade products.
Okay, hello.
So,
hello.
Show me what you bought, Tatiana.
Okay,
and I'll pull out whatever you didn't bring.
If you actually head over to my blog, I did like this whole self-care, self-love for Valentine's Day, and I did my nails. So when I am trying to save some money, I will do my nails at home. So I have like my little.
Oh.
I know, isn't that cute? Oh, so cute. All right, so I have my nail polish, and then I also like going on Pinterest and looking. I found like this method to like get like a gel nail polish, but it's just basically the technique that you use.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So I like to use like a nail strengthener as my base.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to do.
She about to tell me how to do it.
I know, right? She's a professional. You know what? Let me just.
So we're gonna. This is cute. She bought the little nail set.
And this is another
And you
one.
know what? Okay, one of the questions.
Can we talk about that? It's about nail files because, my nails were growing very long and then I had to cut them down. And I found that when I was filing them, I really did not know how to like properly file my nails. Because I feel like when they do in a nail salon, they just like, and I'm like, oh.
And it's done.
And it's done. It's like, how do you do that?
All right, so let's go. And we're gonna speed through the steps. So if you're ready, or you can watch this on YouTube later on, and you can rewind it if you want to, or if you're just watching it live, jot down what I'm getting ready to say.
All right, let's go.
So step 1, which you've already done, is to prep your nails.
I did.
That's to remove all the polish.
Yep.
One of the things that you want to be careful with is sometimes. So when you go to the beauty supply store, you've got acetone and non-acetone. Okay. So acetone.
So which should you actually use? Because
for natural nails, you should use non-acetone.
Oh, okay.
But and the reason why you do that is because pure acetone is really drying to the nail.
Okay.
Now you can use acetone because it'll do the same thing, but you'll notice when you take it off that your nails are pretty white. Okay. They're like a little dehydrated. Yep. But if you go back and you add cuticle oil into your nails and your cuticles, you'll rehydrate them. And if you have on like some pretty stubborn polish, you have to use that if you've got gel polish, you've got acrylic. That's really what this is for. Makes sense. Yeah, acetone is really for acrylic. Is really for gels and that kind of thing. So you want to prep your nail, you want to remove all the polish, and you do that usually to remove your polish, but even if you don't have polish on, you can still do this, because one of the keys to making your polish stay is you do want the nail to be slightly dry. That's what will make your nail polish stay. So I just went over her hand just with a quick little swipe. She did it just like professional,
just how they do it. I'd be at home sitting there like trying to get it off.
You already had the polish off.
I know, even how she's handling my nails, I feel like I'm at the nail salon like, okay.
You know, it's funny because whenever you tell somebody you're a professional, they get surprised when you do something professional. You're like, no, I'm really serious. So the next thing was you asked me about nail files.
Yes, I did.
And so tell your question about nail files.
So for those at home, a lot of times we just go to like our Sally's, Walmart, Target, and you just get like a regular like nail file. And I found that when I was filing my nails, like my nails were just like rigid and just not smooth. And I was like, okay, am I actually doing this right?
So what I told Tatiana and what you have to feel this part of the file. Okay. So and that's called the grit. Okay, so there's different levels of roughness to nail files because it's for different purposes.
Got it.
When you're filing your natural nails, a lot of times the kind that come in the kit is it's more smooth. So
this is too rough?
No, it's not. But they're similar. Okay. But you want something that's not super rough because the other ones are for your own. is for like acrylic, or if you got really super thick nails or like your toenails.
Okay.
So when you get your nail file, one of the things you want to do is you want to file in one direction. That's one of the reasons why if you were filing back and forth, you may have been getting.
We trying to hold on the length, ma'am.
I'm not filing your nail down. I'm just fixing the shape, sis.
Oh yeah, I know the shape.
Because she said she was trying to get oval. This one over here, is that the shape that you were trying to get?
Yeah, I like more. Yeah, like oval. Yeah.
Yeah. So oval can be challenging.
It is very challenging, which is why I would go to the nail salon.
Right. She criticizing already. I had to put her out of my chair.
No, I'm not.
So.
Oh, that looks so good. Okay, yeah, do the next one.
So again, the trick is, and you guys can't see this, but the trick is to file in one direction.
Okay. So no back and forth. Just
not really. You may have to if you're trying to take the length down, but even if you go back and forth, you finish it off with a one direction. Hey, I don't know One Direction songs. But once you put that oil on your nails, you got to go back
and clean out the nail. Because when you apply the nail polish, it's not going to stay.
It's not going to stay.
See, I know a little something. Pinterest taught me, and YouTube.
So then the last step, once you do that, once you clean off the nail from the oil again, the last step is your polish. Now, you've got some pretty good products here. You've got a nail hardener. You've got, this is one of my favorites. This is a fast dry top coat, but you can actually use this as base and top coat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But this is a good one. You've got here.
All products these two products are linked on my Amazon storefront, guys.
Oh, you got an Amazon storefront. Okay.
You know.
So yeah, you need a good base coat, a good top coat. Let me see, did I bring a base coat?
Yo, she for real has like like I might need to schedule an appointment. Like, here, do my nails.
One of the products that I use when I do natural nails is this is called Infinite Shine. I think you can find this in
I can find this
drugstores. This one is a good one. You'll know what it is because it has a silver top. This is an OPI product.
Okay.
This one is a nail polish that's formulated to last a little longer than a regular.
Okay, so is this like this Jealous Advanced Nail Color?
I've never used that.
So I have used it when I'm doing. So if you want to do like an at-home, manicure, I will add this in, and I've noticed that
Keep talking.
when I apply it on top of the nail polish, it creates like a coat where it looks like I have gel on my nails.
Why, it's shiny?
It's shiny, but it also just helps with curing the nail, and it just it stays. So when I do paint my own nails, it will last. Polish. When I polish my own nails, I find that it does last a little bit longer. And I'm also just giving my nails a break because I have been doing gel consecutively back to back.
Yes.
So I wanted to just let my nails breathe for a little bit.
Which, ladies, you have to take gel off sometimes and just go with either regular natural manicure, because taking that gel off and sitting under that UV light is a killer for your natural nails. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting on the base coat. Now, here's the thing. And you can't really see it, but I'll show you the final product. One of the things about polishing, and the reason why I corrected her, I said polish because we're not painting. We're not using paint. We're not painting a house. We are doing polish. So what I did is I put on the base coat. You want to try to put the polish on in even strokes. When you get good, your practice should be to try to be able to do
this looks really
3
good.
strokes. One down the middle,
yeah.
Then one on the left and one on the right. And you do a nice
3
even
strokes.
stroke.
Okay, so 3 strokes.
But you have to practice that.
Okay.
Because it might not happen the first time. Now, here's my pet peeve. And if you're doing a DIY manicure, it doesn't matter, and you may not be able to do it. But do not polish all the way to the cuticle. Leave yourself a mini little space. A little teeny space.
I am how when people are talented and they have their thing. I just did not realize she used to for real do nails out here.
Yeah, shout out to all my former clients. Get at your girl.
This looks really good.
So, ladies, gentlemen, I guess, just talking about the transgender and the gender identification, yes. Whoever would like to polish their nails, one of the big things is that you do not want to polish right up to the cuticle. You want to leave yourself a little teeny bit of space. It definitely takes practice, because if you do it too far, it looks like you need your nails done.
So I have a question. How do you feel about, and I've tried it, have you tried the nail stickers?
No, I haven't.
So, we live in a fast pace, get things done quickly. And basically, for those of you all out there who are not familiar, the nail stickers, it's actually it's like polished strips. And you put them on your nails and you just kind of
that's one coat.
Right. But basically what it is you just put it's like nail polish strips, and you put them over your nail, you stretch it out, you smooth it out, and you just file it.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So how do you feel about those types Is that just like
they're not that easy to use. If it's the kind, I used to use minks.
Oh yeah, Beyonce.
They're not. Yeah, so go ahead and try, do your second coat. Let's see how she does, everybody.
Oh my gosh,
really quickly. And as she's doing her last polish, going out, and I'll just tell you guys while she's doing that. The last step of your DIY manicure, of course, is your top coat. If you want your top coat to stay, what you want to make sure that you do is go around the edge of the nail. So you want to take your brush, you go around the edge of the nail right here. So then that basically
where?
Around the edge. Yeah, there you go. That basically seals the nail polish in. So as Tatiana is finishing up her DIY manicure, and I will be inspecting it, but off air, as she finishes up her DIY manicure, I would like to thank you guys for tuning in. I would like to thank my co-host today, Tatiana.Inise. Thank her not only for hanging out with me at Goodwill yesterday, but also hanging out with me in studio today. We had a blast.
We did.
And follow her at Tatiana, Tatiana.Inise on all socials.
Yep.
And follow me, Sharonda-Irving, SharondaIrving on Instagram. And we will be back next Sunday at 5:00 with Art Loves Fashion. Check out my IG page. I'll be posting the stories, in Insta stories. I'll be posting the videos from Goodwill. I'll be posting Tatiana's finished work. Girl, you're not finished. Keep going.
I'm not.
We will be posting her finished product. It's looking good. It's looking good. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please share with me. If you decide that you want to try this DIY manicure at home, please take pictures and tag me. If you want to look at the show from last week, I'm going to upload the links from last week and this week. And stay active with me, and I'll see you next Sunday at 5:00 on Art Loves Fashion. Peace. Thanks. Welcome to Art Loves Fashion. I'm your host, Sharonda-Irving. I'm an image consultant, professional developer, art curator and collector, a wife and a mom. This show, Art Loves Fashion, is about, you guessed it, art, love, and fashion. We'll be meeting new people, trying interesting things, and hopefully learning something new. Sounds kind of vague, right? That's because I want you to join me on Sundays at 5:00 as we take a journey of all things creative and beautiful with Art Loves Fashion.